Craig Gurney brings us storytelling similar to cowboy poetry, but made by a modern-day saddle tramp riding an iron horse, a motorcycle.
Hey y'all, my name's Craig. I ride a motorcycle and I write motorcycle-inspired poetry. And I just want to thank Tumbleweed and everybody that's involved in Tumbleweed to give me the opportunity to read today. I'm going to start with a couple of poems from the Roadkill chapter of my yet-to-be-published book. And this is kind of where it all started. It was down in southern Idaho. And I'm going to start with Ode to the Coyote and Ode to the Possum. And some of you might relate, I've reached that point in time where I have to slip on my reading glasses, so hang on just a minute. Ode to the Coyote. O wily coyote, prince of the night, you win henhouse games, then depart in full flight. Your nocturnal antics give cause to howl, the locals are frantic, at dawn they cry foul. You are cursed by the farmer, you old pullet stealer, then you lose playing chicken with an 18-wheeler. Ode to the Possum. Hey, Mr. Possum, you're certainly awesome. I'm convinced by your pose you have passed. You lie perfectly still, how determined your will. It seems that in concrete it's cast. You are skilled, you deceive. It's hard to believe how perfect this role you've created. How precise this act. Some claim there's no tact. You're despised, criticized, even hated. Ah, but wait, what's this part? Is this real? Is this art? Your body and limbs all askew. Your pelt is ruffled, my gasp is not muffled. I hope, no, I pray it's not true. Could it be that your smile, while grotesque, all the while results from your jaw being crushed? And entrails are strewn down the line while the moon casts shadows of vehicles rushed. I alone slow to see fecal splash, blood and pee. The gray matter leaks from your head. I guess I'll be the one to end all your fun. Mr. Possum, wake up, dude. You're dead.
Wow.
Now, as I began to share my poems with family and friends, I was told that every poet needs a love poem in their portfolio, so I endeavored to write a love poem. And I titled this one, Iceman and Charlie. I'm Iceman. Riding the Harley with a chick named Charlie when she said, let's go to the coast. Let's walk hand in hand, barefoot in the sand, and watch the sunset. That's what I want most. I said, I got shit to do, but it's all about you. With this girl, I just can't say no, so I patted her ass. I said, let's get some gas, and then we'll be ready to go. At the pump, we saw Chase. Well, we all call him Race because he never goes slow, only fast. He introduced Sadie as his next XO lady. You gotta wonder if that's gonna last. Now he wants to know where we're gonna go because him and Sadie are free, and if we wouldn't mind, they'll just tag on behind and ride until she's gotta pee. And I said, look, dude, I don't mean to be rude, but Charlie and me got a plan. And old Race, well, he frowns and then he looks down and studies the thumb on his left hand. Then he starts to grumble, and we feel the rumble as 10 or 12 bikes hit the lot, and sure enough, I spot trouble. He's packing double, and so's this dude they call Snot. Leading the pack is this big guy named Mac, and riding beside him his red-headed squeeze. Ain't it a shame I don't know her real name, but when she's with Mac, well, she's cheese. There's Tweety and Spike, and on this stretched-out green bike is this GQ-type dandy called Cash. Tigger and Spokes, and a black dude named Smoke, and a redneck known simply as Rash. Gizmo, Shiny, this big fat guy, Tiny, and this tall thin chick riding a pan. Her sled's cobalt blue, and you can tell she ain't new, 'cause that sure ain't no electric beach tan. She's brown as a nut, got a tight little butt, and her skin, well, it looks just like leather. So I christen her Boots, and the redneck he hoots, and she cops a toot, my name's Heather. Through the pillage and plunder, you just gotta wonder what it is makes a nickname stick. Well, quick as you please, just one drunken sneeze, and that dude they call Snot used to be Mick. And trouble? Well, hell, that's clear as a bell. He spends most of his Saturday nights sitting in jail waiting for bail after shooters and 2 or 3 fights. Right about here, Mac yells, let's ride for a beer, let's roll before it gets hot. Mount up your steeds, let's do dastardly deeds and just hope that nobody gets caught. "Oh, Tiny," says Ice, "it sure would be nice to know which highway we're taking." I said, "Hell, I don't know. I ain't running this show. That's a decision for Mac to be making." And Mac says, "Well, boys, come on, make some noise, 'cause I just don't know what to think." And that's when Charlie steps in, about as subtle as sin, and shoots me a conspiring wink. She says, "Let's head east on the I-90 beast, up over the pass, then who knows? It might just be heaven to catch 97 and ride north just as far as it goes. Let's grab a beer at that bar, the Brick, it ain't far." There's an affirmative nod from the pack. "We'll have another in Chelan, then complete this plan by closing the bars in Omak." Well, nobody moves, like I gotta approve, but then I figure out what to tell them. I lie. "It's no use, I gotta drop a deuce, y'all take off, we'll catch up in Cleellum." Growling and howling and spinning their tires, they're off like a wolf pack with rabies. Vehicles yield, Gizmo cuts through a field, and mothers are shielding their babies. They go left at the light when the last bike's out of sight. I give this cutie a hug. I said, "Hun, I'm impressed, you're simply the best, I'm high and you're a natural drug." Yeah, I was feeling real good, like an old fat guy should, and you know, it's really not like me to boast, but I was riding the Harley with a chick named Charlie when she said, "Now, let's go to the coast." Now, you might have noticed that the pack went east and we went west, and that's the way it goes sometimes. And you might also notice that right after walking hand in hand barefoot in the sand, that kind of went from being a love poem to be all about Washington State places. So I decided I better write another love poem, and I better make it a love poem, and I titled this one, "The Question." She whispered low her question, and I answered, "Yes, I do." When she asked, "Is there another?" I stated, "No, there's only you." She said, "I saw you looking at that young thing dressed in red." Well, not the way I look at you. That's what I should have said. But foolishly I confessed, her curves did catch my eye. Oh, to be that young again, her bosom heaved a sigh, and I said, "Please don't go there, darling, 'cause we've had all these years. I've shared with you so many miles, my hopes and dreams, my fears. We fit together hand in glove like two spoons nestled tight. Our hearts seem to beat as one, you know, it just feels right. You take me to a place that's not easy to describe. It's like a gin and tonic high with no need to imbibe." And she said, "Yes, I know. With you I've always felt connected, but I swear these sweet young things all seem to be injected. They're sleek and smooth and shiny, adorned in bright glad rags. That was me 10 years ago. Hell, I've got saddlebags." I attempted to assure her that she's all I ever wanted. She didn't seem to hear me. She's hollow. No, she's haunted. I asked, "Do you recall that trip to Wilbur, the time when we got lost? The stubble in the wheat fields, the early autumn frost, the county roads through the farms, speed limit 45. I hold you close, you urge me on, I truly feel alive. A long, straight stretch of blacktop, seductive, that's for sure. Sweet acceleration, the ailment or the cure? Shallow breath, shaky knees, my heart begins to pound. 100, 110, 120, and then I hear that sound. I feel your strength, this is real, I know it's not a dream. We push it to the red line, it's a primal scream. We are one together. And now you see it too. You are the only one for me, and I the one for you. That little tart in crimson might have captured me at 40, but I've matured, and now I see she's just a little sporty. So darling, ask that question once again, and I will tell you true. Yes, my 2002 Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail with bug-encrusted windscreen, 95-inch jugs, fat mini apes, Mustang seat, and silver-studded saddlebags. I really do love you.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
You guys are a great audience. This next poem is one that I think a lot of people relate to because you don't have to be on a motorcycle to see what I saw this particular trip. And and it's one that I like to share. When I tell people I write motorcycle-inspired poetry, and everybody kind of goes, okay. But I share this one with them, and it can change people's minds. I titled this one Brother Raven, and my inspiration was flying down the highway. I thought I saw something out there ahead of me, and when I got there, it wasn't what I thought I saw. Brother Raven. Cruising eastbound Utah 30 in the distance to my right, a hazy shape emerges through the thicker of twilight. A raptor sits upon a fence, plumage ruffled by the breeze. He is delicately balanced, wooden fence rail talons seize. It seems as though he owns the world, so elegant and regal. I wonder, could he be a falcon or possibly an eagle? I'm thinking he might be the czar of this desert haven. He could be that old trickster, you know, Brother Raven. He surveys his surroundings with ever-watchful eye. If his interest should be piqued, he would then mount the sky. But as I'm rolling closer, an error does seem clear. What I thought I saw back there is not the same up here. No, flesh and feathers can't define this ebony scallywag. I am chagrined by my mistake. He's a tattered garbage bag.
I've been there.
Wow.
That's what I say. A lot of people relate to that.
Yeah.
And Tom, I think we're at a place where we need to get Kathy up here with a guitar.
That sounds great. Let's do
Okay.
it.
So I've asked my lovely wife Kathy to join me on this one, and what I need to tell you is this one started out as a poem, and I would read the verses and sing the chorus. This particular poem/song is about my mom, and it's called Riding with an Angel. Called my mom the other day, said I'm riding the Harley down to visit you in that dried up wind-blown Oklahoma town. She wondered, hon, why don't you fly? You'll get here in a hurry. I told her I'll be flying just real low. Now, mama, don't you worry. Ah, but worrying, that's what mamas do, that and praying hard. Washing the windshield on the bike out there in the yard, I felt a little foolish. Could have swore I heard a voice. I'll be riding with you, boy, and you ain't got no choice. Talk to mama, she said, son, I'll say a prayer for you. You don't have to thank me, that's just something mamas do. I'll ask the Lord to keep you safe and make your life so rich. I'll ask him if he's got an angel, don't mind riding, bitch. The miles ahead seemed endless in the evening's faded light. About halfway to nowhere, that voice said, hey, stop for the night. Took a curve a little fast, felt the rear tire skidding. That voice said, this is bullshit, pull it over, I ain't kidding. Filled the tank and grabbed a bite and realized it's 1/2 late. Tossed and turned in a wore-out bed at a wore-out Super 8. Tooraloo-ralura, tooraloo-lie. Could have swore I heard that voice sing an Irish lullaby. Talk to mama, she said, son, I'll say a prayer for you. You don't have to thank me, that's just something mamas do. I'll ask the Lord to keep you safe and make your life so rich. I'll ask him if he's got an angel, don't mind riding, bitch. Rode through hail and sun and dust and rain. Close calls, well, I had a few. But in every situation, seems like I knew just what to do. Watch out for that Beamer. There's a pothole in this lane. You better back it off a notch. There's a trooper in a plane. Rolled on up to Mama's house. She greeted me with a grin. She said, hon, you must be hungry. Now tell your friend to come on in. And I said, Mom, I rode down here alone. There ain't no one out there. That voice said, boy, you ain't alone, 'cause your mama said a prayer. Talk to mama, she said, son, I'll say a prayer for you. You don't have to thank me, that's just something mamas do. I'll ask the Lord to keep you safe and make your life so rich. I'll ask him if he's got an angel, don't mind riding, bitch. Well, now Mama went to heaven right after I rode down to visit her in that dried up wind-blown Oklahoma town. That voice said, boy, your mama took charge as soon as she ascended. She called a meeting, a celestial assembly and made sure every angel attended. She matched up an angel with every biker mom's request. She said there'll be no hesitation now, y'all just do your best. The guidelines are quite simple. You get your ass down there every time a biker's mother says a biker mother's prayer. So brothers and sisters, when you ride, just one thing you should know. You ain't riding alone, 'cause my mama's up there telling angels where to go. Yeah, I talked to Mama and she said, son, I'll say a prayer for you. That was good.
More than good.
Nice.
Whew, thank you.